I can't believe it. He did it again. Masahiro Sakurai is the king of crossovers. He got Steve from Minecraft, Sora from Kingdom Hearts, Ryu from Fortnite, and now Rocky, the greatest racer of my generation, from SpongeBob. Hi, I'm Tri, and as someone who has played 0 Kirby games, I am very excited for this Kirby game. I was already sold on the last Direct, but now, what's bigger than sold? Big sold. This whole Direct basically told us that Kirby Airriders is the original Kirby Air Ride remastered, and then another full game on top of that. He shows off Top Ride, which seems like a fun mode, and pause. Look at the UI for a second. It's got movement. It remains legible, but feels like it's in a race. Motion creates emotion, and yeah, I'm excited by the menus. It's who I am. He then gets into what I already know will be my favorite mode by far. Road Trip. See, I've been on a bit of a roguelike kick, really ever since I played Hades a few years ago. Balatro, Slay the Spire, Inscription, yada yada, all great games that I've sunk countless hours into. It really feels like anything can be a roguelike these days, and some hit. Splatoon Side Order, and some miss. Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC. I think this is for sure gonna hit. It looks like there are a ton of possible routes, encounters, and even story elements that really make this mode feel like a legitimate single-player campaign experience. When Sakurai does campaigns, aka Subspace Emissary or Kid Icarus Uprising, he cooks. We head to online features and see the paddock. I've never used this word in my life, but it's a really fun-looking hub area where you can mingle with friends as whatever characters you want to be, play music, set your ride vehicles, and just hang out. It's one of those things that could have easily been a screen, but they went through the effort to create a legitimate space to interact with and build up the world. We then get into a kind of weird section where Sakurai talks about online rankings and how you'll be sorted into ranks via different shapes and colors, which, I mean, I'm a triangle, I'm all for it, but I don't get it. It seems like something they almost put too much thought into. Like they tried reinventing the wheel. You don't need to do that. It's not obvious if you're ranking up when you change colors and shapes, and that's intentional, but still weird. I'm sure it's to make it more inclusive and not make people feel bad for being ranked low, but why have a ranking in the first place? It's also interesting that difficulty changes based on your rank. Like actual levels and environments will be different. So if I'm playing in a map with no hazards, I guess that just means I'm trash. We see more beautifully diverse courses, and these designs are so unique and impressive all on their own. It's going to be hard to pick a favorite or one I'm looking forward to before I get my hands on it. The rail grinding also reminds me of Kid Icarus Uprising, which I will never shut up about because it's amazing. Sakurai then drops the bomb that every course from the first game is here. For me, that means absolutely nothing. I have no nostalgia for these courses, but it means I get more courses. Nice. They look great, and I appreciate that they aren't just HD versions. He put in the effort to make them work with the new game mechanics and design. And that's the word I associate with Sakurai. Effort. He's such a hard worker. Sometimes to his detriment. Nobody asks him to work as hard as he does, but he really wants to provide a quality experience for us, and I appreciate that, you know? We then get to some more Kirby characters I've never heard of, but would love to get to know. Taranza, the spidery thing. The web mechanic seems really cool. Lololo and La La La, or Ice Climbers. Deroach, who doesn't even look like a Kirby character. What in the Great Mouse Detective am I looking at? Then he has to pause to prepare us for the actual greatest characters that aren't Starman on this roster. Rocky, an absolute Italian unit that beats Russians. Freaking Rick. I know literally nothing about Rick, and I don't care. He's my guy. Besides Starman. If you told me this was Sakurai's childhood pet he wanted to memorialize in the game, I'd believe you. Scarfy, who looks terrifying. Karl Marx, and Waddle Dee, who I thought was in the game already and didn't realize that Bandana D is a different character. Oops. We get to hear the announcer announce stuff, and it reminds me of that one time the Smash Bros. Announcer did an overview trailer for Smash Ultimate. Shout out Xander Mobus.
Show me your moves to reign supreme!
I love the audio effects they have for the announcers. It feels arcadey. I could probably find better words than that, but that's all I got, sorry.
Launch! 3, 2, 1, start! Wheelie Scooter, finish!
We see information about stadiums, all the wonderful options we can turn on and off when it comes to them, a couple different examples, and then a really cool boss fight stadium with Robo DDD. I'll see you as a skin in the next Smash Bros. I mean, boss fights are cool. Who's saying no to boss fights? Boy, am I glad to see checklists. I didn't play Kirby Air Ride, but I played plenty of Smash Bros. And Kid Icarus, which includes a very similar in-game achievement/challenge system, and it's so satisfying to see the board clear. Even just the pop of the square is a dopamine hit like no other. We get 5 whole tabs and rewards for clearing these objectives. I mean, just the picture would have been cool, but of course Sakurai goes above and beyond to make each feature worth something. One of the coolest quality of life features is not having to memorize these different missions and being able to go straight into the scenario you need to check these off. If you want to just go full completionist, they made it pretty seamless. Sakurai then goes into the specifics for some of the checklist rewards, and you get character skins. Yes please? And ride vehicle decorations via My Machine. No shade, but low-key shade to Mario Kart World. You slap a sticker on that bad boy and you call it a day. Kirby Airriders? You're decking the whole thing out in decals, paint jobs, patterns, stuffed animals, and wings. Yeah, there are so many different ways to customize the machines, and it's just another above and beyond feature that we would have totally been content with if it didn't exist. Sakurai goes beyond the expectations and provides us with content we didn't know we needed. Not only can you make these sick designs, but you can sell them and increase your profits with each sale. Am I gonna abuse my power as a designer and YouTuber? Of course I am. Do I earn anything by selling these virtual machine designs? No, but I want to see that number get big. As if that wasn't enough player expression for one game, he lets us put hats on the riders, cause why not? I mean, come on, sunglasses on Starman, I didn't think he could get any cooler. We get to see the endgame currency of miles, not kilometers, another victory for America. I apologize for being obnoxious. Gotta take my wins where I can get them. Then we get another currency, gummies. This is the most pointless currency slash collectible I've ever seen. I want all the gummies, all of them. This is the closest I'll get to my dream of swimming in Scooby-Doo fruit snacks. This one was the best one. Sakurai talks about the music and makes me feel less bad about bringing up Smash and Kid Icarus Uprising because he does it himself. We get a very similar system to Smash where we can kind of prioritize certain tracks or turn others off, and I'm all for player freedom and user expression, even if I most likely won't touch these features. And then we get a look at the menu UI, and I don't care how difficult it is to read this. It looks cool. In a world of basic, boring UI, I want to see more experimentation, and Sakurai's wife, who I assume made the UI, because she makes all his UI, made this fun. I could easily dedicate a whole video just to the UI we've seen so far, but I usually like to wait till the game fully releases so I can cover everything, but I might just have to make an exception. Let me know if that interests you. We get a look at the options and just tons of accessibility options, which is always the goal of a good UX designer. Think about every user and how you can make the experience available to as many people as you can. Sakurai then graces us with a cutscene from Road Trip, and I once again am so freaking stoked for that mode. It feels like a Subspace Emissary successor even if it's not Smash Bros. Getting legitimate single-player content for a racing game is so unnecessary, but Sakurai did it. In closing, he talks about the effort that went into this game and how he started developing it right after wrapping up his YouTube channel, which is fantastic. Y'all should check it out if you haven't already. He talks about how making games is hard, and I believe him. It's hard to make a game, period. But it really feels like only Sakurai can make a game this polished and filled with this much content. And like Smash Ultimate, he repeats the fated line, everything is here. In Smash it was everyone is here, but you get the idea. The game will have no DLC, and if you know me, that's how I like my games. When I roll credits in a game, I don't go back to it. The only DLC I've willingly purchased was the Fighter Pass for Smash Bros. Go figure. Sakurai says this won't be a series and is a one-off, and I think this will be a game that we'll be playing for many years to come. The direct ends in dramatic fashion and teases something, I have no idea. I saw the Fountain of Dreams from Melee, and y'all probably hate the words that just came out of my mouth. Oops. Before I go to my intro spiel, I just wanted to thank those of you that reached out or left comments or even just liked my post where I mentioned the health challenges my wife is dealing with. We have a plan for how we're going to go forward and appointments are set in place, so we're feeling pretty optimistic. So thanks again for the kind words and the prayers. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing and sharing it with a friend. I upload every single week. If you want to help me keep this whole YouTube content creation dream alive, you can become a member on YouTube, a sub on Twitch, or a patron on Patreon. I'm currently working towards a goal of 30 new channel members, and I have 6 so far. If you want to be part of the Tri community, come join the Shape Squad on Discord. I love interacting with y'all there. Links to all those platforms are in the description down below. If you want to know what I thought of the first Kirby Airriders Direct, check out the video that'll pop up. Thanks for watching, I appreciate you being here, and as always,
Thank you for all your support!